So this morning, I had one of my Muslim subscribers who has been on the channel for more than 5 years DMing me on Twitter. And it was surprising because I haven't heard from him in a while. But you know what he did? He wished me Merry Christmas. That was interesting. You know, I'm an atheist. I should have corrected him, shouldn't I? I should have said, no, it's Happy Holidays. But the reality of the situation is that he doesn't celebrate Christmas. Like, I know for sure that he's a Muslim. But the reason he told me Merry Christmas is because he thought that I do celebrate it and he wanted to be nice. And as an atheist, again, when I hear someone telling me Merry Christmas or Happy Hanukkah or Happy Ramadan, so all in all, I thought that it is a nice gesture. Because human communication is less about the words that you're saying and more about the spirit of what you're saying, more about the essence of what you're trying to transmit to other people. So when someone is being nice to you, if you respond by being a dick to them, you're going to get them to resent you. You're going to foster resentment. And this is what the war on Christmas is all about. This is why people are so upset over the fact that you see articles like this popping up in the media every single year as if it's tradition, reminding people how they should communicate and reminding people that they should get upset if they don't happen to be Christians and someone is being nice to them. It sounds ridiculous, right? The concept, the war on Christmas, but I think this is the essence of it. This is what really bothers and upsets people. I don't necessarily think it's about Christianity itself. I think more it's the idea that you can be nice or kind to a person, and in exchange they are going to be a dick to you. And this fosters division. The example that I gave before with my Muslim subscriber that was being nice to me, right? Like, him as a person has grown in my eyes, and I'm going to be nice to him in return, right? And this actually fosters understanding, respect. But when you have the media which is saying that no, you should never accept that. Like, if you're an atheist, you should correct that Muslim and say Happy Holidays. How do you think he would have felt if he did that? Like, he would have felt that I'm an asshole, a person that's very difficult, and he would have wanted to spend less time with me. And this is what the journalists and the academics and the people who are suggesting that you shouldn't say Merry Christmas are trying to achieve. They want everyone to stick to their own fucking lane. Okay? They want to separate people based on little tiny groups that do not talk to each other. And the purpose of the article is not to get Christians to stop saying Merry Christmas, is to get people who aren't Christians to get offended and upset whenever they hear this. So if they're in a corporate environment and they see a Christmas tree, they should freak out and say, it's not a Christmas tree, it's a holiday tree. If they have a friend that comes up on the street and says Merry Christmas, they should be like, Happy Holiday. You know, like this is what it is. I would say, and this probably would upset a lot of people, that Christmas itself is not a Christian holiday. Hear me out. I know you're upset, but listen, like when I grew up, and maybe this is different for you, you know, maybe you grew up in another country in another time, but when I grew up, whenever I thought about Christmas, I was thinking about Santa Claus and presents. Like, Christmas for me was not something that I thought in my mind and I was relating it with the church. Okay, like I was relating Christmas with Santa Claus, reindeers, chimney, snowy rooftops, and presents. Easter was something that I would connect with the church. Christmas, no. And even now, even today, when I'm thinking about Christmas, I'm thinking about, okay, well, the family is coming together. What food do we buy? What presents do we get? So, Jesus is in the last of my mind. Now, again, maybe you were born differently. Maybe you were in another household, more religious. Maybe, you know, let me know if that's the case. But I do think that Christmas has been commercialized for quite a while now. But with that out of the way, I still think it is a very good holiday to have because it brings the family together. The essence is on the family unit, much to the horror and dismay of journalists who are like, oh my God, how can you talk with your racist uncle I'm still waiting for the articles on how do you talk with your woke nephew. Maybe later we're going to get to those. Like maybe as time moves forward, we're going to get like how do you talk with your woke nephew. But still, you're getting the family together, and this takes away emphasis from the government, the state, the institutions, and this is what they hate. Right? They don't like you to talk with your family. And they want you to get your information from social media and their fact checkers. They don't want you to spend time and be happy and have a family to support each other. No, they want you to donate money to the government so the government can support you. I mean, this is the essence, the ethos. So they don't like anything that has to do with getting people together and forming connections. Like human beings should only form connections with the government and its institutions. That is leftist ideology. That is the woke mindset. So when you have people actually spending time together, they try to break that apart by instigating all of these nonsensical arguments. Right? Like nothing ruins the Christmas dinner more than the mother being happy and saying Merry Christmas, and then you have like the woke nephew going like, Happy holiday, mother! You know? Like that's what they are trying to achieve. And people are noticing that it's bullshit. Like for example, articles like this, where they say, well, it's impolite to assume that everyone celebrates some shit. I remember there was the war on Halloween this year, which was particularly bizarre because I think Halloween was the celebration that woke people liked the most, because you get to walk around and you're like, oh my god, I've been microaggressed by his costume. Oh, you know, like those types of people. When do they get to do that the most? I mean, when do they get to be offended the most? They love getting offended because you get to see how animated and energetic they are. And that's Halloween. But apparently there was a school district which didn't want to celebrate Halloween because not everyone celebrates it. And people were pointing out on Twitter that it's a little bit hypocritical because they did celebrate LGBT during Pride Month. So I guess like everyone is gay, but not everyone is religious, right? And you know, it causes people to feel that, well, why do you believe that you have power over me? Like, who gave you this authority over me? You twat. Like, you're a teacher. Your authority should be to teach the subject matter you specialized in and then grade students based on that subject matter. Your authority shouldn't be to decide what kids celebrate and what they don't. So either everyone gets to celebrate stuff if at least 2/3 of the group celebrate it, or you don't celebrate anything. You don't get to pick and choose. Well, this celebration we did, I did this one because I say so. It's like, right? Like, people notice. And this whole thing, it's like being offended. Being offended. Like, how many people aren't offended when they see an athlete taking a knee over something that they disagree with? Right? Like, the athlete says, oh, America is a systemically racist country, which made me a millionaire. And people go like, no, it's not a systemically racist country. I disagree with your take. But I have to watch it and I have to see it anyway, don't I? Same with the Pride Month and the commercial that says, oh, toxic masculinity and whatnot. Buy my razor. And you're like, well, I disagree with that message, but I have to hear it, right? Like every single time I watch the TV, I get to see that commercial. So you're telling me that it's like okay for me to be offended with all the shit that I see, but if I say Merry Christmas to someone else, that's too much. So is this lack of tolerance, this lack of understanding, which builds resentment. And I think this is actually the goal. It's actually the purpose, to build resentment among people so that they don't collaborate with each other. They're not friends with each other. It's like Amazon, I think it was Whole Foods division. They figured out that if people don't have enough grievances among each other, they unionize, and they didn't like that. So that's what the purpose of the diversity officers are, is to foster resentment. It seems that John and Juan get along together very well working for Amazon until the HR lady comes and it's like, hey, Juan, did you think that maybe it's not the bosses that you have a grievance with? Like, no, the company is just good. We're the corporate family. Those are cisgender white people that aren't they? And the fact that they tell you Merry Christmas, isn't that offensive? Like, you're an atheist, aren't you? Why'd you tolerate that shit? And this is what it is. I think it's bread and circus. And it is the actual purpose of the war on Christmas. Let me know what you guys think, though. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.